Now I would like to request Mr. Sunil Sharma, Managing Director, Sales, Sophos India and SAARC, to share his thoughts on digital transformation. Mr. Sunil Sharma is responsible for the company's regional sales and channel organization. Sophos acquired India's prominent network security company Cyber, where Sunil was responsible for the entire sales and operations for these regions since 2011. His in-depth understanding of sales channels like system integrators, value-added resellers, distributors, retailers, and OEMs had helped grow the Cyber business by 500%.
Hi, very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you very much for giving us this wonderful opportunity. Right now, everyone is working out of home, and I would like to thank all of you as the Corona warriors, because no one has recognized what I truly feel about it. Today, if I'm able to work from home, it is just because of people like you, the entire CIO gang and the IT team. I think you people have done a fabulous job to ensure that our working doesn't stop. So thank you very much. Apart from a lot of other Corona warriors like the hospital staff, the doctors, the medical staff, the paramedical staff, or the forces, and the other people who are actually doing this great service, I think you are also have done a commendable job during the difficult times when we thought that business is just going to stop, but you people have done a great job. So thank you very much. Secondly, there is one thing which we have heard recently, that PUBG, as a game has been taken out, and now kids there are a lot of young people who actually used to play PUBG are not able to play PUBG. The full form of PUBG is player under battleground. But let me tell you, PUBG is going to come and go, but PUBG is going to stay. Now, what is PUBG? PUBG, I just replaced the P word with C, which means CUBG, which means what? Which means cyber under battleground, actually. So cyber player under battleground, if I look at who is the cyber player, actually you are the main hero, you are the cyber player under this particular battleground. And I just want to tell you that this fight which you have been fighting, and look at the circumstances, look at the situations, look at the budget situations, look at when you know that this product, this solution is very important for my organization, and the budget approval doesn't come, but you're still fighting, you're still trying to convince the top management that how important it is. I think salute to you. Really a phenomenal job you people have been doing it, and you are there to stay. You are there to stay as a PUBG. So secondly, thank you very much for that. Thirdly, on the other side, when you look at what's happening, I think digital transformation, the theme of this particular day, digital transformation in context to timings have been different to different people. For example, when the computerization was supposed to happen across the industry in the nation, then again this digital transformation interpretation was done. But today, when I look at digital transformation interpretation in today's world, I think probably you will agree with me that it is more about moving us into the cloud. Whether it is a private cloud or it is a public cloud, I think that hardly matters. But primarily, digital transformation, the true sense, is moving into the cloud in today's scenario. Let me start my presentation. So times have changed, times, I still remember we used to work with novel netware. All machines were wired and absolutely tied up together. It was like King's Fort, when everyone is working in one particular office and in one premise, and this was kind of a trusted network, and no one go out taking that machine away. And times have changed. You have seen it today. there is a more complex infra which has taken into place, because people are working from homes and working from any, on the road, or maybe somewhere in very very remote location, from their villages, from their some other global location. So times have really changed, where you have different kind of users now, and at the same time the infra has changed. Earlier we had a machine, we had a server in the office, working in the office. Now the server, whether it is placed at the office, or it is placed in different country, and so it is all over. So it is, whether it is a public cloud, or it is your private cloud, applications also at the same time have actually evolving. So data, application, infra, it's continuous basis, it is evolving, and users are. But at the same time, my dear friends, please don't forget the important aspect, that malware has also become very very smart. They are no more static, and they are absolutely active and dynamic. So there is definitely no doubt that times have changed. But look at whether IT security has actually been able to keep a pace with it. Just put a hand on your heart and say that yes, it is. But unfortunately, it is not. Why? Because of so many, you have point solutions, and what you have been doing it, you kept on buying as and when new solution arrived, no fault of yours actually. And what is happening is that today you have so many vendors and products available, and you're trying to do a manual integration of all that, whether it is in the form of a tool like SIM tool or something, and then you're arriving to a report and going through all that report. It's such a humongous kind of a process, where you're like into it all the time, trying to understand what is the next course of action which you're supposed to be taking. It is not like a automated response. You had some machine which got infected, it got into a quarantine zone, got healthy once again, and then came back to the your particular network. But that's not the way it's happening actually. Risk has increased, no doubt. Look at the vulnerabilities today, and well, so many applications which are coming in every day, and there are BYOD kind of concepts. So it's like a humongous amount of exposure and risk, and the surface area has become much more larger. At the same time, cost, budget, wow, that's a big problem for all of you. And I understand that. Why? Because budget has never ever been constant. There is always a demand for more, but the point is, boss has been always asking you to reduce it as to how much you can reduce, but there is a bit of gap there. Now I would like to draw your kind attention towards one of the survey, like pandemic season. If you look at, you have been reading a lot of reports, a lot of numbers, that India is now 4.5 million people got infected, and how many have been, like more than 80% are recovered, how much. So I just wanted to draw your attention towards this report. Maybe this report may be helpful for you to take it to your seniors, and maybe the owner, or depending upon what hierarchy you have in your organization, or maybe to the CEO level, by telling that this is a genuine report. It's been conducted by Vincent Bonnet, third-party research, and there are 5,000 companies have been actually, the IT managers have been interviewed, and it tells us that ransomware is a menace actually. At 82% of the companies have been hit by ransomware last year. And out of that, just to tell you, only 8% could actually stop before the data could encrypt it. And 66% actually, they got their data by paying the ransomware. At the same time, I also want to tell you that most of you guys have actually taken a cybersecurity insurance, but no one has read the fine prints of cybersecurity insurance, that whether they are going to pay for your complete ransom amount, or it is like when you have taken all the precautions, then the insurance company is going to pay you. So these are some of the facts and figures. And one, the average remediation cost for such kind of attack in your organization, this is again coming data from IT managers like you, 8.02 crore, which is pretty big. Now look at this particular data. This was like ransomware attack. Let us also look at the aspect of what's happening on the cloud side, as to do we have some kind of a cloud survey also. Yes, we have done that, and we have done it with almost 3,500 ID managers. There, what we have found is that we have 100% of people are concerned about the current level of cloud security. There are 44% which have actually breached through a security misconfiguration, and 55% of the cloud account credentials have been stolen. And let me tell you that it's a big number, but I just would like to deep dive into furthermore into the data about India, that out of these 3,521, the 76% of the organizations were primarily using the public cloud. 93% of them have actually got one or the other cybersecurity incident, which is like a huge one, which means that the organizations truly do not have the visibility, and its a biggest concern is that detection and response, which means that what's happening, what is the problem which I can face, or what is wrong in terms of configuration, in terms of security, what security we have provided there. But another very important question which comes to my mind is that a lot of people are also not aware that the cloud security is a shared responsibility. It is just not the responsibility of the cloud infra provider. So which is very important aspect. And I think once we have understood that it's shared responsibility, so the applications which are running, the OS which is running, the instances which are running, the servers which we have taken, I think they are all responsibility for any organization. So primarily when we look at cyber security, I think very importantly there are three things which comes out. One, that environment has changed. You looked at how perimeter has lost the meaning, and there is no perimeter, and people are working from anywhere globally, any location, and it's like, and they are using different kind of, so the infra has become absolutely very complex. So that is one thing which we have found. And secondly, on top of it, today the malware or a ransomware, when you look at, it's absolutely very dynamic and active malwares attacks which are happening. Rather, I want to tell you that our Sophos lab receives every day almost 400,000 new malwares which are being processed with our Sophos lab. So that's the kind of meanings it is actually. And thirdly, in terms of visibility to you, I mean you as IT managers, there is a bit of problem actually, that you are not getting the complete visibility as to what's happening and what should be your next course of action. And that's where Sophos comes into the picture, which talks about is a solution which is next generation solution. So when you say next generation solution, which means that we have, whether it is wireless, which is access point, or you have education software to tell your people that what is a fish and what is not a fish, and differentiation between a legitimate or an illegitimate mail, and email solutions, or an encryption solution, or a mobile solution, or a service solution. One vendor providing all these solutions under one roof. And at the same time, this is all being supported by an intelligent Sophos lab, which is giving you that data 24/7, a third party, rather it's our own lab. And at the same time, do we have any single management console or a cloud-based console which is able to manage all these next generation solutions? The answer is yes. And that's where we come into the picture in the form of Sophos Central, which is a console, which is a through which we can manage all these solutions. So that's where we are talking about that cybersecurity is evolving. Next thing, which is very near to my heart, is about that we have so many solutions, but are these solutions working as a system? And that's very important. What do you mean? I mean, sometimes people, so Sunil, what do you mean by cybersecurity as a system? My meaning is very simple, that our body works as a system, which means that when food comes, it starts eating the hand, takes a bite, it gets into the vegetable, and then it goes into your mouth. So it works as absolutely as a system. Similarly, do we have someone as an organization who's providing the next generation solutions? Are they working as a system? The answer is yes. We are talking about, we're the first company and very prime mover into this, that we announced and we came out with a concept called synchronized security, which means that each product is talking to other product, which means that firewall is talking to encryption, email is talking to server. They are talking to each other, and there is a sync which is happening, and that sync is actually being developed and being controlled by heartbeat. And heartbeat all the time, it's just checking. Like, for example, you are a user, knock knock, are you okay? And the answer is okay. And that's how the sync is happening, and which actually is able to give us a absolutely unmatched protection and efficiency to the best level. Because with the help of Sophos Central, when you are able to manage all these products and have that console, and you are not supposed to be going through so many different console, then you have all that power. You can utilize that time to analyze what's happening. You have all the visibility just on a single dashboard. You have the automated response if at all there is some problem which you had to go through. Let's say, I always talk about one of my customer who gave me an example. He said, Sunil, I went for a coffee, and it was 15 minutes. Definitely I chatted and had some gupshup with my colleagues and friends. And when I came up to my chair, on the dashboard I saw that malware was found. It was quarantined, machine was quarantined, it was treated, and this machine again came back. All this activity was done when I went for a coffee, and that's exactly the automated response which I'm talking about. So let us look at what we are doing. Are we just providing you security on premise, or we are providing security only on the cloud, or not providing security in the virtual instances, virtual machines which are there, or we are not giving you cloud visibility completely? But I want to tell you, and proudly, that we are actually giving you the security at all these levels. And we are this new ecosystem which has come up now. New ecosystem because of the cloud, the on-premise, and people are using again different clouds like Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS. So can we provide visibility amongst all these three platforms? The answer is yes. Are we able to give heartbeat between the virtual machines and the XG firewall? The answer is yes. Are our endpoint are being supported and being taken care by your next generation endpoint solution? The answer is yes. So whether you are on road, whether you are in office, or you are working from home, or you are working from any of the country, Sophos is there to protect you. So thank you very much for giving me this precious time of yours. I really appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep using, and keep and you be a Kabji, okay? And keep using Sophos. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Sunil, for such a wonderful opening presentation. And we have noted the advices you have shared related to cybersecurity.